All right, this is section 2 of the post of the mock SAT exam we took September 10th. Our number 1. If 0.008x is equal to 0.032, then what is the value of 0.08x? All right, so this is just algebra manipulation. So both of them are basically 8 multiples of 8. We could just change this to look like this. So how do we change 0.008 to look like 0.08? Well, we multiply this by 10. Multiply this by 10, it gives you 0.08. So what we do to one side, we must do to the other side. 0.032 times 10 is 0.32. So the answer is B, 0.32. Alright, number 2. If the absolute value of x plus 3 is greater than 5, which of the following is a possible value of x? Okay. One of two ways. If you forget how to solve for absolute values, you can always plug in the answer. So let's plug in an answer just to see. Negative 9 plus 3. The absolute value of negative 9 plus 3 is negative 6. Negative 6. So that becomes 6. Is 6. Sorry. Is 6 greater than 5? Yes. So the answer is A. So again, that it was just lucky that the first one was right. But again, if you forget how to solve for absolute value, you just plug in the answer. Alright, now let's do it the algebra way. So you got to remember, for absolute value, it's always going to be you solve for the negative and the positive. So it's x plus 3 greater than 5 and x plus 3 less than negative 5. Alright, so you take the 3 to this side and it gives you x greater than 2. Take the 3 to this side, x less than negative 8. So you got to pick a number either that's greater than 2 or less than negative 8. And the only number that's greater than 2 or less than negative 8 is negative 9. So again, the answer is A. 3. A isosceles triangle ABC shown above has an area of 4. If AB is equal to BC, what is the coordinate of B? Alright, if AB is equal to BC. Alright, this is going to make it an isosceles triangle. Okay, so A and C. So A and C are 2 units apart. Alright, and we've got to remember the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So the base is 2. So 2 times the height over 2 has to equal to 4. Right, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so h is equal to 4. So the height is 4. Alright, now B, since A and C are the same, B has to be in the middle of them. So what is the coordinate? Well, you know the height of it is 4, so you know it's going to be something 4. So what's in between 2 and 4? Well, 3. So the coordinate is 3, 4. Answer is B. Alright, number 4. Sorry, 5 people stand in line. 3 men, Denzel, Melvin, and Anit, and 2 women, Janine and Susan. The order which must stand is the following: a man is not first in line. Denzel is ahead of Janine in the line. A woman must stand fourth in line. Melvin cannot stand next to Denzel. All right. So which position does Melvin stand? Well, first off, A is wrong because a man cannot be in front. All right. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So a woman must be in front. So it says Denzel is ahead of Janie. So Janie cannot go first because, well, Denzel has to be first. Denzel cannot be first because the man cannot be first. So let's say Denzel and then Janie. All right. Oh, sorry, there's 5 people. All right. A woman must stand fourth in line. So fourth in line. So the only one that's left is Susan. So Susan is here. Oh no, wait. Susie cannot go here because a woman needs to be first. If a man is not first, then a woman must be first. So Susie must go in front. Since Denzel needs to go ahead of Janine. And Janine can't be first because, well, obviously Danielle can't be in front of Janie's going to be first. So Susan, Danielle, Janie. And a woman must stand fourth. So Janie is the only other woman left, so she must be in fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Janie's here. So it means Denzel is here. And it says Melvin cannot stand next to Denzel. So Melvin cannot be here. So Melvin cannot be here. So Anit is here. And so Melvin is here. So it's Melvin's position is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's fifth. He has the fifth position. So let's go over it again. A man is not first in line. So a man's not in first, so obviously a woman has to be in line. So it's either Susan or Janine. So a woman must be first and a woman must be fourth. Denzel's ahead of Janie. So since Denzel has to be in front of Janine, then Susan has to be the first and Janine must be fourth. So since Janine is fourth, Denzel must be in front. So he's in third. And since Melvin cannot stand next to Denzel, he must be in last. So it's easy. If x is greater than y, if x is less than y, which is less than z, and the average of x plus y, of x, y, and z is y, which the following must be true. Alright, so how do you take average? Average is x plus y plus z divided by 3. And so the average must equal y. So that equals to y. Alright, so we gotta solve for this. So x plus y plus z is equal to 3. Y, we'll use multiply by 3 on both sides and get this. And that is B. Number 6. After selling 1/3 of the muffins he made for the school bake sale, Alan then sold an additional 10 muffins, leaving him with half of the number of muffins he started with. Alright, so he sold a third. So x over 3 is how many he sold. And he also sold 10 more. And since he was left with 1/2. So he sold, if he's left with 1/2, then he sold 1/2. X over 2. Alright, so now we're going to solve for x. So it's x third, 1/3 of x plus 10 is equal to 1/2 of x. Take the 1/3 to the other side, so you're left with 10 is equal to x over 2 minus x over 3. This is the same thing as saying 3x over 6 minus 2x over 6. So that's just left with x over 6. So 10 is equal to x over 6. So x is equal to 60. Alright, in the figure above, E, F, G, H are midpoints of line AB, line BC, line CD, and line DA, respectively. And ABCD is a square with perimeter 16. What is the perimeter of EFGH? Alright, so remember the formula for a perimeter for a square is 4 times the size, because all sides are the same, so you just multiply it by 4. So the perimeter is 16. That means each side is also 4. So each side is 4. So this is 4 from here to here, and they're midpoints. And H is a midpoint, so it means this is 2. That must also be 2. So this is 2, that's 2. This is 2, that's 2, that's 2, and that's 2. Alright. What is perimeter of EFGH? So we want this length, that length, and that length, and this length. Alright. So one thing also about squares all have right angles. Alright, now what shape do you see here? You see an isosceles right triangle. Alright, so an isosceles right triangle, this is a special property. Remember, both sides, if two legs are the same, then the hypotenuse is the side of the length times square root of 2. So this is square root of 2, 2 times square root of 2. This is 2 times square root of 2. 2 square root of 2, 2 square root of 2. How many do you have? So it's 2 square root of 2 times 4. And that gives you 8 square root of 2. So the answer is E. 8 square root of 2. Alright, number 8. Negative 3a squared b squared raised to the fifth. Remember the properties of exponents. You got to take this to each one. So you can take, so it's negative 3 cubed times a squared cubed times b to the fifth cubed. Negative 3 cubed is negative 27. Remember with the exponents, when you're raising an exponent to an exponent, you multiply the exponents. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 5 times 3 is 15. So the answer is D. Number 9. In the figure above, if line M is perpendicular to line L, what is the slope of M? Alright, Remember, with perpendicular, it means for the lines to be perpendicular, the slopes must be negative reciprocals of each other. All right. So let's find the slope of L. L is the only one because we only have 2 points. So the slope of L. So remember, slope is rise over run. So it goes from C to 0. So C minus 0. And 0 to D. So 0 minus D. So the slope of line L is C over negative D. Okay. So now, this is the slope for L. Alright, what's the slope for M? Since they're perpendicular, they're negative reciprocals. So we flip this and we multiply it by a negative. So the negatives cancel. Negative times a negative gives you a positive. So the slope of M is D over C. Answer is B. Alright. So again, square absolute values. If you forget how to solve for absolute values, just plug in a number. So 3x minus 6 is equal to 36, and 3x minus 6 is equal to negative 36. Alright, so solve for x. 3x is equal to 42, so x is equal to 14. Now this one, 3x is equal to negative 30. X is equal to negative 10. So the answer is C, negative 10. Remember, we're taking to solve for absolute value. You set it. You take away the absolute value signs, and equal to the positive version and the negative version of it. So positive 36 and negative 36. Read 11. If the ratio of A to B, we do fractions, is equal to the ratio of 2A over B, and B cannot be 0, which the following must be true. Alright, so this is saying a number divided by B, a number divided by another number is equal to 2 times the same number divided by the other same number. Alright, so you can always make up numbers, but we won't do that. We just follow the rules. So which of the following must be true? B is equal to 2A. So if B is equal to 2A, it means A over 2A is equal to 2A over 2A. This gives you 1/2 is equal to 1. Is 1/2 equal to 1? No. So 1 is wrong, so A and D are wrong. Number 2, A is equal to 0. 0 over B is equal to 0 over B. So 0 is equal to 0, and that's right. So 2 is right. So whatever doesn't have 2, you take away. So C is wrong. Alright, plug in the third one. B is equal to 2B. So that's A over 2B is equal to 2A over 2B. So this is A over 2B is equal to A over B. And that's not the same. So 3 is wrong. So the only answer is B. 12. If 3y to the 4 plus xy minus x squared is equal to y squared minus 25 and y is equal to 0, how many possible values of x are there? So y is equal to 0, so plug in 0 for all your y. So this is going to be 0, this is going to be 0, and that's going to be 0. So you're left with negative x squared is equal to negative 25. Multiply both sides by negative. X squared is equal to 25. Take the square root of both sides. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 25 is plus or minus 25. So there's only 2 options, 2 values for x. So the answer is C. If w is a positive odd integer, which of the following gives a possible value of the product of 1 more than w and 2 less than w? Alright. Positive odd integer. So since we're all working with small numbers, then we're going to work with small numbers too. So positive odd integer. So let's say there's 3, there's 5, there's 7, and there's 9. Alright. So what is the product? Product, remember, means multiplication. The answer when you multiply 2 numbers of 1 more than w. So w, so it'll be 4, and 2 less than w will be 1. 4 times 1 is 4. Alright. So w is not, so that's not it. 4 is not on here. So 5. One more, so it's 6, and 2 less, that'd be 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Is 18 on here? Yeah, so the answer is C. 14. The chart above shows acres of forest land were developed for each of the 5 years. Which of the following is the closest approximation of the median number of acres developed in 2001 2004? So from 2001 2004. So ignore 2000. So remember, median is the number in the middle. So cancel small to large. You left with these two. So the median number has to be between these two numbers. So what's between 3 and 3.75? That says 3.75. So that gives you 6.75 divided by 2. That's 3. No. 3.375. Right? So that's close to D. 15. In the figure above, square ABCD is inscribed in the circle. If the perimeter of ABCD is 4, what is the circumference of the circle? Alright. So circle. So square. Remember, square, all sides are the same. So the perimeter is 4, so each side is 1. Alright. So what is the circumference of the circle? So remember, circumference is equal to 2 pi r or d pi, where d is diameter. So what is diameter? Diameter is from one end to the other, passing through the middle. So from B to D, and remember, squares, they have right angles. So yeah, so we have a right triangle with leg 1 and another leg 1. So the hypotenuse is square root of 2. So the diameter is square root of 2. So the circumference is pi square root of 2 or square root of 2 times pi. Pretty simple. 16. The members of set A are single-digit prime numbers. 2 numbers are selected at random from set A. What is the probability that the average of the 2 selected numbers is even? Alright, let's do the set of prime numbers. Remember, a prime number is only a number that can be divided only by itself and 1. So prime numbers of set A are single digit. So it's 2, 3, 5, and 7. Yeah. Alright. So let's find. Yeah, what is the probability that the average of the 2 selected numbers is even? Yeah, sorry. 2 numbers are selected from random set. What is the probability that the average of the 2 selected numbers is even? Alright, so we have to find each number. Let's see if it's even. The average is even. So if you divide it by 2. Yeah, alright. So 2 and 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. So 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So that's odd. So 2 and 5. 2 and 5 is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So that's odd as well. 2 and 7 is 9. And that's odd. Alright, 3. 3 and 5 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that's even. 3 and 7 is 10. Divided by 2 is 5. So that's also even. 5 and 7 is 12. Divided by 2 is 6. So that's also even. So that's all possible combinations. We have our 2s, we have our 3s, and a 5 and 7. So what is probability to be even? So there's 6 numbers, and 3 are even. So 3 divided by 6 is 1/2. Simple. Our probability is the number you want on top divided by the total amount of total number of possibilities. So there's 6 ways to do this, and there's 3 ways, 3 numbers that we want. So 3 divided by 6 is 1/2. 17. In the figure above, AGF, BEF, and CDE are all isosceles triangles. Right triangles. Remember, isosceles means both 2 sides are the same. if BE is equal to 2x, and yeah, so it says BEF is a isosceles triangle, so this is 2x, so this is also 2x. What is AC in terms of x? So we want to find this new one. All right, so if GF is this is x square root of 2, and so is ED x square root of 2. What is AC? All right, so we got to remember an isosceles triangle, right triangle. This is A, that's A, and this is A square root of 2. So the hypotenuse is just the side times square root of 2. So since the answer is x square root of 2, then each side is obviously x. So this is x, and that's x. That's x, and that's x. So the new triangle, if we add everything here, the new triangle is 3x, and the bottom is 3x. Okay? So now what is AC? Well, again, two sides are the same, so just the hypotenuse, the two sides are the same, so the hypotenuse is the side times square root of 2, so it's 3x square root of 2. So the answer is A. 18. If R is a positive even integer and S is a prime integer, then all the following are factors of RS except for... Alright, the easiest way to do this is to make up a number. Let's say R is 4 and S is a prime integer. Let's say it's 3. Alright, so all the following are factors of RS. So RS is what? 12. Okay, so 12 divided... So this is R and this is S. Alright, RS is that over 4. That is what? That is 3. So that works. So that's right. So that's not it. S. 12 divided by 4. Obviously that's right. 2S. 2S is 6. So 12 divided by 6 is a factor. So that's right. 2R be 8. 12 divided by 8. That's not a right factor. So that's wrong. So the only answer that's not a factor is 2R. Alright, so the math way. RS. Well, RS divided by R obviously works. RS divided by S, that obviously works. RS over 2S, since R is even, so it means is it always divided by 2, so that works. Now RS divided by 2R, so the R's cancel, you're left with S over 2. Since S is a prime integer, then it's not going to work. Since S is prime, so remember prime number is not a number that cannot be divided by itself. Or if prime number is a number that's divided by itself or 1. Since S is a prime number which is not 2, then it's not it. So then 2 says R is positive, even, anything can divide it by 2. So that works. So the only answer is 2R. 19. Burlington High School Marching Band has X members. Burlington Drum Corps has Y members. If the Monroe County All-Star Drum Line consists of all members of Burlington Marching Band and the Drum Corps, except for P common members, how many members does Monroe consist? Alright, this one again, let's make up numbers. So let's say X is equal to 10 and Y is equal to 14. And let's say they have two common members. Alright. So remember the Monroe County All-Star Drum Line is everybody except for the two common people. So X is how many people are left or not in both bands. There's 8 and there's 12. So that gives you 20. So now let's plug in the numbers here, see what gives you 20. 10 to 14, that gives you 24. That's not right. 10, that's 24 minus 2, that's 22. That's not right. Plus 2p, that's not right. So the answer is D. Alright. So the math way, hopefully everybody's seen this before. It's like a Venn diagram. So let's say there's X here, and this is Y. This is A, that's P, and that's B. Okay. So we only want A plus B, right? Because we don't want anybody in the middle. So how do you do A plus B? Because remember, X is equal to A plus P, and Y is equal to B plus P. So if we add x and y together, so x plus y together, we have a plus p plus b plus p. So a plus b plus 2p. But we want it to equal ab. So what do? We subtract 2p. So we subtract 2p from here. So the answer is x plus y minus 2p. 20. A, B, C, D, and E are all integers where A is less than B, less than C, less than D, less than E. If C, D, and E are each greater than the product of the next two, for example, D is greater than BC, and E is 6, which following cannot be 0. Alright, so E is 6. We have A less than B, less than C, less than D, which is less than 6. Which is following could equal 0. So let's say if A is 0, if this is 0, that means B is 1, and C has to be 2. Remember, they're all integers, so they're all a whole number. C has to be 2 because it has to be greater than 0. Probably it has to be greater than 0 and greater than 1, so it's 2. So D has to be greater than 2 and greater than, well, 2, because 1 times 2 is 2. So the next number up is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Is 6 greater than 6? No, they're the same, so that doesn't work. So A cannot be 0. So A is out. Everything with A is out. We have B only, B or C. Since both of these are dealing with B, let's do C. If that works, then it's C. If not, then it's B. All right. If C is 0. All right. So it's A, B, C, D, and E. All right. If C is 0, then this is -1. Let's say that's -2. Can C be 0? Because remember, it has to be greater than product. What's greater than negative? So it's the product. So -2 times -1 is +2. Is +2 greater than 0? No. So C cannot be 0. So the answer left is B. So let's work it out to be sure. So if B is 0, this means A is -1. C has to be greater than 0, so it's 1. D has to be greater than 1, so we can pick 2 or 3. And C is 6, so that works. So that's always going to work. So the answer is B.